Want to thank you for coming out to the press conference. This is the Point Guard of Real Estate press conference where we discuss, different strategies, things that we do. How do we get prepared to get our houses on the market? How do we prospect? So, for those of you that are new here, this is what we do. I'm Toccara Williams. I am the Point Guard of Real Estate. So, I'm gonna open up and just talk about a few things, but then I'll open the floor up for any questions that you all may have. So I want to talk to you about, we're tracking a new listing right now. We're tracking a new listing, and I definitely utilize my basketball background into what I do in real estate right now. So just to go through what's going on right now to bring you guys up to speed so you know what's going on. So we're tracking the property currently right now, and this is a listing that we want to get. We want to be able to get this listing. We want to market that listing to ultimately sell that listing. But what we do, the preparation to get there, before we get to the meeting, before we meet with the seller, there's a lot of preparation that goes into that. That goes into our strategy, our game plan, our system. It's the culture that we've built. So for this one particular property, to tell you guys, there's 10 active properties in the area of where this home is located. There's 10 active properties, and we have two, one pending, one under contract. So we have two that's not taking any other offers because they have a contract right now. And we have 4 closed properties in that area, right? So right now we're working with a total of 16 properties that I can look at and pretty much strategize over. So think about this. When I was playing basketball, being a point guard in the WNBA, there's a lot of strategy going on. There's a lot of strategic, being intentional things that we do that go into before we actually play a game. We do more preparation than we actually play the game, right? There's practice, then there's games. We even have shoot around before the games because you want to remember what it is you have to do. You want this fresh in your head. And this is no different. This is no different. So there's a lot of preparation. I need to study the market. I need to know what's going on. What's strong in the market? What do these properties look like compared to the one I'm going after? What kind of education I can give myself about the neighborhood, right? I need to know certain things that's going on so I can better help and better educate my client. I'm going to call them client. They're a potential client, but my client, I speak things into existence. They're going to become my client. My client to be informed and make the best decision when it's time to list and ultimately sell the property. First question. Right. So with those 10 properties, they asked with the 10 properties, what's the ranges? What's the price ranges? So I'll tell you, the lowest price point is 325 of the active properties, 325,000, and the highest price point is $449,000. Right. So I tell you, some of these properties are renovated and some are not, but for the most part, they are renovated. You saw the price points. Some are renovated, some are not. We have a variety of 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, and 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. But the thing I pay attention to when I'm looking at that is days on market. How long has a property been on the market? So how long has these active properties been on the market? Because I'm coming in new, and I don't want my seller to have their property sit on the market for a long period of time. So let's just go through what days on market looks like. One has been on the market for 4 days, and one has been on the market for 137 days. So you got 4 days all the way up into 137 days. Now, I don't want my seller to be on the market for 137 days. I want something happening. I want offers. We want showings. We want offers, right? We're going to do some things in between there to generate more activity so that we can lower our days on market, because we know ultimately the faster we can get a contract, the faster our seller can get their money, get their home sold, and move on to the next phase. So pending properties, yes. So with pending properties, like I said, there are 2. One is renovated, right? One is renovated, and it was on the market for 36 days, right? It was on for 36 days before they got a contract. The other is an investment on property, so it's priced a little differently from the property that we're looking at. Our property is renovated, so it's priced a little differently, but it's been on the market 21 days before they got an active contract. But I want to talk about one of the key factors, the closed sales, right? The closed sales in the area. I told you guys it was 4 closed sales in the area, renovated, and two of them were cash deals. So when you're up against cash deals, understand this: the property may not be completely renovated. It may need a lot of work, or it may need some work, and it may need work that requires an investor with cash, has some leverage to come in, renovate it to get it to market value. So we look at what's sold in the area, and because we want to look at what properties does our property compare to. What's the closest comparison we can get for our property? So we're looking at that, right? And days on market. Let's talk about days on market for the closed properties. 8 days. That was the cash deal, right? It was 8 days, got out, and the other was 17 days, right? That was one that was renovated. So 17 days. So all right, that's one that we would look at because we're renovating. We're going to be at market value, and we want, if we can get 17 days or less on the market before we get a contract, that is awesome. I think our seller will be happy. So you want to look at how did they get there? And to study these properties, to really, really study them, you can't just look on the internet, right? As an agent, point guard of real estate, you can't look on the internet. So here's my film in real estate: actively going into the properties, taking a walk in that property, looking at what's in there, and comparing it to the property that we're looking to put on the market. So that's my film session, actually walking the property, because now I can see, okay, this one has this, mine may not have that, or mine has this one doesn't have that. So now I'm measuring up, the strong suits of my property and any low points that I may have in my property that, may pose a problem. So we got to be prepared for that. And it's just like in a game. If you're in a game and you're playing, there's always strategy, there's always adjustments that need to be made. So one thing that will make adjustments happen, and you won't know until you get to the market, right? You won't know till you get to the market, because we could practice this stuff all the time, but you got to put the property out there and you have to see what the market says. The market is going to tell us if we're priced too high, if we're priced too low, if we're priced right. But we have to be on the market to see that, because that's going to let us know the flow of traffic coming in, what people are saying once we get feedback. But we have to be in the game. And as a point guard of real estate, I'm always ready to make the best play for me, my client, and the overall benefit of what my client needs, right? So we're going to always make sure my clients have options, because this is the game we got to play. And, they're putting a full court press out on us, right? They're putting a full court press out on us. So we got to make sure that we're ready, play the game, we're all in, and we got to know what we're up against. So right now, like I told you, we're up against 10 active properties on the market. That's 10 other opponents. So if I'm I'm with my team and we're trying to make it to the playoffs, we don't want to be in the we don't want to be in the bottom 10. Like, we want to be in the top 10, right? We want to be in the top 10. So we got to figure out the best way to get around 10 other properties that people can look at. And we want people looking at our property, coming in our property, giving offers, giving feedback, and ultimately making a sale. So once we get to the market, we'll come back, we'll revisit, we'll talk about what we learned, because the only thing that's going to help us is actually, number one, being in the game, right? And what we learned. So we'll come back, we'll revisit, but I appreciate you guys, your time for today. Point guard real estate, Toccara Williams. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the next press conference. Pay attention.